All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're moving way past theoretical vulnerabilities. We're talking about true VPN hygiene. If you've been paying any attention to privacy architectures lately, you know there's a massive gap between what a VPN promises and what it actually delivers. So in this explainer, we're turning theory into a concrete manual. We're going to cover highly practical, actionable steps you can take to actually secure your connection.
Here's the hard truth we need to accept right out of the gate. A VPN does not make you anonymous by default. Seriously, it just encrypts one single layer of your traffic. It is an absolute illusion to think you can just click connect and, poof, disappear into the digital ether. There are several de-anonymization vectors that can completely undo that encryption. But don't worry, today we're going to fix every single leak that breaks your privacy, step by step.
So here's our actionable checklist for today's explainer. 1. Fixing WebRTC leaks. 2. Plugging DNS leaks. 3. Testing kill switches. 4. Exploring multi-hop routing. And finally, 5. The compartmentalization rule.
Okay, let's dive straight into this. Section 1. Fixing WebRTC leaks, or stopping browser-level IP exposure.
You might assume your real IP is securely concealed inside that VPN tunnel. But let's look at what actually leaks. WebRTC, which is the browser API that powers things like your video calls and voice chats, can, in some configurations, open direct peer-to-peer connections that completely bypass your VPN's routing. It literally punches a hole right through your shield. It reveals your real IP address directly to the server, all while your VPN app is sitting there telling you you're fully connected and protected.
So how do we actually fix this? Well, here are the exact actionable steps, depending on your setup. If you're using Firefox, just dive into your about.config settings, search for media.peerconnection.enabled, and simply set it to false. Boom, that disables WebRTC entirely. Now, if you're on Chrome, there isn't a native toggle, so you'll need to install an extension like uBlock Origin to handle it for you. And honestly, the easiest fix for most of you? Commercial VPN apps like ExpressVPN, NordVPN, and ProtonVPN now have built-in WebRTC leak protection toggles right in their settings. Go find it and turn it on.
Moving right along to Section 2. Plugging DNS leaks and keeping your destinations private. Now, this is a massive vulnerability. Think about it. If your DNS queries go to your ISP, they see every single destination you visit. Even with your VPN fully active and encrypting your data, if your DNS requests, the system that translates a website name into an IP address, are still routing through your internet service provider, there's a huge leak. They might not see the content of the pages you're reading, but they see exactly which domains you're visiting. From a privacy standpoint, this defeats almost the entire purpose of having a VPN in the first place.
To plug this hole, here's what you got to do. First, look for the DNS leak protection toggle in your VPN app and make absolutely sure it's actively enabled. If you're a power user running a self-hosted WireGuard setup, you need to explicitly point your config's DNS line to a server that is only reachable through the tunnel. And here's step 3, an incredibly sneaky, often missed culprit, IPv6. If your VPN only tunnels IPv4 traffic, your device might just send IPv6 traffic right around the VPN. You need to either disable IPv6 system-wide or rigorously confirm that your VPN actually tunnels IPv6 traffic as well.
All right, Section 3. Testing kill switches, the ultimate failsafe. We really need to clear up a massive misconception right now. A true kill switch is defined as a strict firewall rule. It blocks all internet traffic if the VPN interface drops, completely preventing your device from silently falling back to an unprotected connection without you even noticing. It is a firewall rule, not just a flimsy app-level pop-up. Early consumer VPNs used to just show a little warning box if the connection dropped. That is entirely useless, because if the VPN application crashes, it obviously can't enforce a rule that isn't running anymore. A real kill switch lives at the firewall level.
You absolutely shouldn't just trust that your kill switch works. You need to actually test it. So here's a simulated live test you can run yourself right now. Step 1, connect to your VPN. Step 2, don't just click disconnect. Forcefully quit the VPN process via your system's task manager or activity monitor. We want to simulate a total crash. Step 3, run a command line tool or refresh a browser page to check your IP address. If your IP still shows up, meaning your internet is still working, your kill switch completely failed. A successful test means your computer has absolutely no internet connection until you manually restart the VPN.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next point. Section 4. Multi-hop routing, or splitting the knowledge. The sheer elegance of multi-hop routing solves a huge weakness. See, a standard VPN server sees both your real IP address and your final destination. If that single server is compromised, it's game over. But by splitting your data between two servers, you completely sever that correlation trail. The entry server sees your real IP, but not your destination. The exit server sees your destination, but absolutely no idea what your real IP is. The beauty here is that no single node has the full picture of who you are and where you're going.
You can actually find this built right into tools today. Proton VPN offers this under the name Secure Core, NordVPN calls it Double VPN, or hey, you can manually chain two WireGuard configurations together yourself if you really know what you're doing. But I want to be completely honest with you here. This reduces risk, but it does not grant you invincibility. It doesn't eliminate timing correlation. A highly advanced adversary, say a nation-state observing both hops simultaneously, could theoretically watch the timing of the data packets and correlate the entry to the exit. So it's exceptional hygiene for sure, but it's not magic.
Now we pivot from network settings to human behavior. Section 5, the compartmentalization rule, otherwise known as the human element.
Listen, absolutely no network protection matters if you log into an identified account. You can have the most sophisticated, multi-hop, leak-proof, kill-switched setup on the planet, but if you open a tab and log into your personal Gmail, your Facebook, or frankly any account tied to your real name during that anonymous session, you have just destroyed the entire setup. You basically handed over your real identity on a silver platter.
So how do we fix this human element? First, never ever log into personal accounts while operating anonymously. Second, use separate browser profiles or completely different web browsers for different identities. Because trust me, cookies and session tokens do not respect your VPN boundaries. Third, avoid reusing usernames across platforms and pay close attention to your writing style. Stylometry can identify you regardless of your IP address. Finally, for genuinely sensitive use cases, you've got to rely on hardware separation. Use separate devices or virtual machines like Tails OS, which are built from the ground up to literally forget everything the moment they shut down.
Bringing it all together for Section 6, completing the privacy arc and what comes next.
Securing your identity really happens across a broader arc. Phase 1 is detection at the network layer, simply knowing if a VPN is even being used. Phase 2 is de-anonymization, how attackers correlate data to figure out who is actually behind that VPN. And Phase 3, what we covered today, is hygiene. By systematically closing every WebRTC leak, plugging those DNS leaks, securing our kill switches, utilizing multi-hop routing, and compartmentalizing our behavior, we completely eliminate the very leaks that attackers rely on to make those correlations.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Is your setup truly leak-proof now? You've seen the manual, but theory only gets us so far. Or do we need to test this live with a traffic capture demo to see what these packets actually look like on the wire? Go apply these fixes today. Check your settings and honestly ask yourself if your digital life is as secure as you think it is. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning your defaults.